Once upon a time, in a not so distant past, I used to spend hours and hours of my days agonizing, deciding, and packing my beauty products for a trip. Like, do I really need 3 separate blushes for a week-long trip? I really don't. Nobody does. And I had to learn that the hard way. But today we're doing things differently because I'm going on a 3-week-long trip to a few different destinations in a few days, and I need to lock in and start packing. So I thought I'd bring you guys along to pack my beauty bag with me because fun, but also you're gonna hold me accountable, and during this process, I'm gonna show you what to do and what not to do so that you avoid overpacking. I'll tell you my must-haves, I'll give you all my tips and tricks that I've learned along the way to make packing less stressful. Okay, I'm gonna start with my skincare because it's the easiest. This is like my mini drawer. I do like to stick with minis as much as possible. It always depends on how long I'm going for. Right now it's only 3 weeks, but I am going to visit my mom and I do have skincare at her place, so I don't have to worry about that. First, like 10 to 12 days, I definitely need some skincare. So minis will be definitely useful to save up space, but they're obviously, if you're going for a month or more, minis are not going to be enough for you. I always try to go back to basics when I'm packing my skincare. So for starters, we need cleansers, and we're going to do a double cleanse. I do have a few cleansing balms like the e.l.f. Holy Hydration, but I do feel like a cleansing balm can get a little bit messy. I don't want to fuzz with that, so I think I'm bringing my mini Bioderma. This is just a perfect first step, removes makeup easily, doesn't irritate. It's my first cleanse. And I don't really have any cotton swabs or anything, but one other thing that I do like to bring is like reusable towels. These are from Japan and I didn't use them up during my trip, so I brought them back home with me knowing that I would use them for another trip. These just help me not have to reuse hotel towels that, might be dirty, or I'm not going to a hotel by myself, I'm sharing, so we don't want to be swapping that bacteria. And what I like to do is actually use this as like a cotton round and apply my micellar water here and then, use it for everything. And then for my second cleanse, listen, this is another Japanese product. This is the Suisai Beauty Clear Black Powder Wash, and these are like little pods. And this is like a face wash, okay, in a pod. Perfect for travel. I've traveled with these before. They're a little bit messy when you're actually using them because you open this and you can't close it again, and sometimes I don't use the entirety of it. I might bring a few of these, but I think I also have, I have this, this is the Used to the People cleanser that I put in this little lotion bottle. Should I bring both? I know I'm trying to maximize space, and obviously the pods are a lot smaller than this. But I do feel like this is the perfect everyday product. So I think I'm gonna bring a mix of both. So that way I can finish this up and then I'll use a few of these. And then I also have like a few toners. I actually have 2, but I am really loving this Round Lab toner. I have the normal size, like the big bottle, and I'm using it as my toner right now, and it's perfect because it exfoliates in a very, very gentle way, and it's perfect to be used every single day. And because I'm not bringing like all my actives and stuff, I think it's a good way to give my skin a little bit of an exfoliation on the daily so that I, keep the skin looking and feeling fresh. For serums, I have this incredible product from Timeless Skincare. This is the M3K serum, and okay, let me open it up. They're little like individually packed serum sachets. Is that what these are called? I don't know, but this is like one use. To some people this might be wasteful, but if you travel, you know how annoying it is to like bring all the bottles and stuff. And I think this is really cool. So I'm gonna bring enough of this. The M3K serum I haven't tried yet, so this might be like risking it a little bit. But I have tried one of their other serums, and it also has this ingredient, I believe, and it's really good. It hydrates, it firms up the skin, so I think it's perfect for like my nighttime serum. I have a few other serums here. I don't really want to bring an niacinamide. I'm not vibing with it at the moment, like the pure ingredient, so no. And then I have this one by Bioma, which I think has niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and then the triceramide complex, so it's a little bit more elegant for my everyday like morning serum. I also have this one by Arborian, but I think this is definitely more like nighttime and I'm already covered with that. I'm not entirely sure that I need a serum for the morning because I really want to simplify my skincare. I'm gonna grab it and maybe last minute I'll be like, I'll take it out, but for now it's coming. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when I have everything inside my bag. For my moisturizer, I'm gonna be using the Astura Auto Barrier 365 cream. This is perfect. It's moisturizing. It soothes the skin barrier. It's very simple, which makes it perfect to use day and night. I also like to obviously think about the climates that I'm going to be traveling to. And I just think it's not too thick that I can't get away with wearing it. And because I am a fan of an eye cream, 100% I'm taking my Caudalie Vino Perfect brightening eye cream. Really nice, love it. It's perfect under makeup, but it's perfect at night as well. It's just super versatile. Only thing that I'm missing is SPF, right? So I have an SPF at my mom's house that I love. So what I want to do is bring this Shiseido clear sunscreen stick, this Synchro Shield, and I really enjoy this. I always keep it in my carry-on bag in my toiletry pouch that I have. So this is perfect for application because I'm gonna be at Disney World. I'm gonna be sweating probably. I think I will be keeping it in my travel bag this time around, but it's the SPF that I'm gonna be using on my face every day until I get to my mom's house, and then I'll use what I have there. And to reapply sunscreen, because again, I'm gonna be in Disney World, it's gonna get a little hot and there's gonna be a lot of sun. I'm bringing this Biore UV Aqua Rich Aqua Protect Mist. It's not my favorite thing ever, but it does the job. I can apply it to my scalp so that my scalp doesn't burn. I can reapply on my face on top of makeup, on my body if needed, and I can give some of this to my friends. So I'm planning on using this up. So I'm also gonna bring this, even though it's a little bit bigger and clunkier than I want it to be. I think it's gonna be useful. This is a weird angle, but I really want to fit everything in this base to go bag. It's part of my like little toiletry set that I got from Base, and this is pretty small. It's pretty dirty too. I tried to clean it. I'm sorry, it didn't really work out. I've used it quite a few times already and it fits enough. And because I'm bringing a lot of minis, I think everything will fit in here very nicely. Let's see, shall we? Let's try to do this. We have the cleansers in here, and then I'm bringing a few of these. The little suicide, you can go in there. And Bioma Serum, also grabbing 10 of the timeless little serum thingies. I love this, it saves so much space. My moisturizer. Okay, I'm not doing a really good job at fitting everything well. My eye cream. This SPF. I definitely did a really bad job at putting all these in order inside, but that's fine. It was because of the angle, not the greatest, but this is how we're looking. I like to keep all of my like liquids in a clear bag like this because sometimes, you know, there are accidents, there are spills, and a clear bag is often waterproof, so nothing is gonna leak from this into the rest of my bag. There are way prettier like toiletry bags out there, but they can be made out of cloth or made out of other materials that don't protect the rest of your suitcase like this does. Makeup for me is slightly trickier because I want to have options. I always want to have options, but I don't actually realistically need a bunch of options. So what I like to do is I like to bring enough makeup for a full face. It doesn't matter if I'm not going to be doing a full face every single day. I like to bring enough for a full face just in case. And depending on my destination, I also like to bring one or two like bolder items, maybe like a bolder lipstick or like a fun eyeshadow or eyeliner, just to add a little bit of something extra. Now, when it actually comes to packing everything, I do like to bring this beat up makeup bag. It's from Sonia Kashuk a billion years ago. And then we have some space for my tools, my brushes. This is just very beat up, but it's very simple and it fits everything that I need really well. And it also has space for some extra shopping, which I probably will do. I always like to consider, again, same with my skincare, I like to consider the weather and my activities. So my activities are gonna be all over the place. Weather is gonna be a little all over the place as well because I'm doing like 3 separate trips in one. So I have to be really smart about what I pack. So let's get started with the base. I want something that is very easy. It's lightweight, gives me good coverage, but I want it to be very lightweight on the skin because I'm going to Disney World. I'm gonna be in Texas later. It's gonna be hot and humid. So I wanna be mindful of that. Right off the bat, I'm thinking 3. I could go for either of my Fenty Beauty Ease Drops, either the liquid or the stick, Or I could also go with my Milani Conceal and Perfect. Okay, this one is definitely going to be the most mattifying. This one is going to be the most forgiving, and this one is kind of in the middle. Maybe I'll bring this one, but because it's not like too mattifying and blurring, it's not gonna give me a glow either. I think this is like the perfect middle ground. And then for concealer, I also have my little concealers here in this thing. I have a bunch of concealers right off the bat. I'm either thinking my House Labs, because this is iconic, incredible, and I love it so much. It's so easy to apply and it looks so gorgeous always, but it is a little clunky and big, so maybe I want to bring my LA Girl Pro Conceal. This one is a little bit more satin. I think I'm gonna bring this one because it's not as heavy. It's gonna be more lightweight on my skin. It's gonna feel a little bit better. And maybe I want a primer. I'm not usually like a big primer girl, but these are my primers that I have right here. None of them are speaking to me at the moment currently. Oh, I know. There's a primer that doesn't fit in here that I think is going to be perfect. Give me a second. The Blur Out Smoothing Primer from Milani. This is perfect. It is, again, it's a little clunky, but it's not too heavy. And I think this is going to be a perfect complement to my other base products because it's going to keep the oils at bay. I don't want my makeup to last forever. I don't need that. So I think this is a good option. Of course, there's a guy mowing the lawn at this exact moment. Hopefully you don't hear him, but now we are moving on to my powder and some cheek products right off the bat. I have a little bit of my Kosas Cloud Set powder left, but I just don't feel like this is the vibe. I want something a little more mattifying maybe. And I don't have any like smaller powders. I don't have any travel size powders. I really need to get another one because I used mine up. I think my smallest powder is again this Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out powder, which is a great powder. I love it a lot. So I think we're gonna go with this one. And now for the cheek products, it's a dilemma because I do like to look a little bit more blurred out and matte, not super glowy, but I know that powder cheek products are bulkier, and when you have powders in your bag, you have a bigger chance of things breaking on you. And that is a tragedy that I have had to live way too many times. So I think creams are easier because there's no like issue with them breaking, and some of them can also be pretty long lasting, and usually they're smaller. I do have some like cream bronzers like my Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer, which I have hit pan on, hey, just a little bit, but I feel like this is too clunky. And then I have a few others. I have this, the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour, which I do really enjoy, but this one's a little bit too balmy. What else do I have? I also have this one by Armani. This could be it. This has been discontinued. I've had it for years. Maybe this could be it. It's pretty sheer. Or, ooh, also on the sheer realm, I have this iconic London Sheer Bronze. This one is a little bit more, like a little warmer tone because it's not a contour, but I haven't used this one in forever. Do they still make this? I think so. The Armani one is more luxe and it's a little heavier. So maybe we go with this one because it's less heavy. Yeah, I think this is the move. It's also pretty tiny. So I have small hands and this is smaller than my hand. So blush, I always struggle with blush a lot. I love blush. I have so many blushes, so many options. And for blush, I do have these like tiny, super tiny blushes that I could bring with me, but I don't love the shades. The shade of this one is definitely not my shade. It's a little too warm, and this one a bit too balmy by Merit. So I think these are, even though they're small, they're a no. Then I have my old faithful Danessa Myricks Miami Skin Blush. I love this. It's like my everyday go-to shade, but it is a little bit bigger than I'm planning on bringing, so I also maybe can bring, as you can see, this one's disgusting. This has come to many trips with me. My Nude Sticks Matte All Over Face Blush color. Like a pretty nice pink shade. I really like it. And I could also like remove that part and have it be even smaller. I think this is a contender for sure. If I want to go even smaller, I can go for Glossier. These don't travel very well because they can explode on you. They make a mess. You waste a ton of product, so maybe not. I have like these mini NARS blushes as well, but they are pretty sheer, but they're small. I also have this one by Run Beauty, but it's a little bit too heavy and a little too balmy, so maybe no. I don't know. Oh my god. I got it. It doesn't live in my blushes because it's technically not a blush, but this is my Danessa Myricks Color Fix Pigment. It's a matte pigment and it's in the shade Exposed. It's supposed to be a taupe. You can't really tell on camera it does look very brown, but it does have like a purple undertone. I have worn this as a blush so much. It is so long lasting. It is matte and it's so small and not heavy at all. Yeah, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Let's think highlighter. Highlighter, I think it's going to be very easy because I don't really need a highlighter. I do like to bring one, you know, just in case. Definitely going to have to be this mini Say Glowy Super Gel. It's in the shade Star Glow. It's the lightest shade. It is a mini. Yeah, you're coming. Okay, now moving on to eye products. I have all my eye stuff here. Let's do brows first because that's going to be the easiest. I just need something to fill my brows and then something to set them. I have a lot of options. I could do something like this, Maybelline Build-A-Brow, because it has like the brow gel and the brow pen. That could be interesting, but I don't really love this brow gel. I might as well bring something else. I do love the pen side of that though. I think I need to do maybe, okay, Urban Decay or NYX. I think Urban Decay matches me better, but NYX has a spoolie. This doesn't, so I think I'm gonna go NYX, and then, well, I could do Rare, I could do Maybelline. I think I'm gonna do the Half Magic Grippy Brow Sculpting Gel. I really like this because it's a little bit more forgiving on the brows. So yeah, I think this is the one, and it pairs very well with the NYX, so. And then for eyeshadow, I could go a million ways with this, but I think it's important to be realistic about the time you'll be spending doing your makeup on the trip. If you wanna be that person that does a full face of makeup every day and is allocating like 40 minutes minimum to do your makeup, I think that's great. I'm not gonna be that person, realistically, I don't think. Meaning eyeshadow is probably gonna be more of a simple thing, more of a one and done instead of a palette. When traveling, I do think palettes are great. They can be a little tricky because again, you don't want things to break, so you need like a sturdier palette. But I do think they're a great option. That being said, I don't think I'm gonna reach for a palette, so I don't think I need that. I don't need to bring that. I'm probably gonna wanna bring smaller things, and I'm gonna forego a primer, an eye primer, because I do think I'm just gonna do creams, and I'm gonna go for my Old Faithful, my About Face Fluid Eye Paint in the shade Smell Before Rain. This is incredible as like an all over shade. Lasts all day. I can use it as a base as well, so I don't need a primer with this. You're gonna be my matte, and then I want to bring a shimmer as well, because what's life without a fun shimmer? I could do, I like the Patrick Top, but I do feel like they're very fragile. What else? Same goes, like e.l.f. I love e.l.f. I love the e.l.f. ones. But again, even though this packaging is really sturdy, I just feel like I don't want to take any chances on them breaking. I'm leaning more toward like a creamy one, maybe. Oh, yeah. Maybe I can do my Jillian Dempsey lid tint in the shade Shell. This one is lovely. It's perfect for like a quick everyday eyeshadow. It also has like a cute mirror, which could come in handy at some point. You never know. Perfect for travel. I've traveled with this one before, and again, no chance of it breaking because it's a cream. And then for eyeliner, I do like to bring a good liner. I like to do a black and a brown or a purple because I do think that it is a very versatile product you can do a lot with. You can go really crazy smoky eye wing liner, or you can just do like a simple line, maybe a faux wing, like something very easy as well. I have a lot of liners here. I really love this one by Make It Forever, but I feel like it could smudge a little too much. It doesn't really set, and I'm not bringing an eyeshadow to set this with, so maybe not. This one could be the Urban Decay Glide On Eye Pencil and Whiskey. I really like it, and it does last all day long. This could be it. Oh, no, I know what I'm doing. If I were going for a purple, I'd go for the Jillian Dempsey Kohl Eyeliner, which I love this shade so much. But again, this one is a little bit too, not finicky, it's just more emollient, and I'm not going to bring anything to set it with, so it would disappear. So instead, I think I'm just going to go in with my Can Make Creamy Touch liners in the brown shade and the black shade. These are the best. Very tiny tip, as you can see, so they're very easy to be precise with, and once they set, they set. I'm probably not going to be using them every day, but they take very little space. The mascaras are in a tiny drawer down here. I'll bring them up for you. I have a bunch of mascaras, but they all do kind of different things, and I want to bring a mascara that can do it all, that can be a little more natural or be layered up. So there are a lot of natural mascaras here, like my Refi, maybe my Sweet mascaras are nice, but again, they're a little bit more on the natural side. There are a few that are also expired that I really need to throw out, but I think my safest bet right now is probably my House Labs mascara. I think it can be very natural, or you can like layer it up a little bit more. I think we're gonna go for this one. And then for lip products, this is where I like to give myself a little bit of grace because I have a lot and I do like to have options. I also am not keeping all of my lip products in my makeup bag. Some of them are gonna be in my purse, in my travel bag. So I feel like I can give myself a little bit more freedom with lip products. They're also like the easiest way for you to change up a look. So here's what I'm gonna do. Firstly, lip liner. Lip liner, I'm only gonna bring one that can do it all. And I have a pretty good idea of which one it'll be. I have all of them here. Oh. So I'm not finding my Make It Forever Wherever Walnut, which is the one I wanted to bring. I do have these two, the Refine and the NYX. You guys are probably tired of me talking about these. I don't need both though. And NYX is more of like a true lip liner, and it's also smaller. So here I have a lot of my like glossier lip products. I'm bringing definitely my Edam Le Chouchou lip softening balm in the shade Fig Sauce. This one's incredible. I usually keep this in my bag. I love it. I love that it has a slight tint. I definitely want to bring like a gloss. I love the Rem Beauty Glossy Balm. This is in the shade Shell. There are a lot of other glosses in here, but I think this is just so nourishing that I could use it as a balm and a gloss. So 2 in 1, yay. For more of like a lipsticky vibe, even though it's not going to be a lipsticky vibe, definitely bringing my Queen Lucia Tinted Hydro Balm in the shade Vaude Vine. This is such a great like burgundy color. I'm not currently using a lot of matte and like classic bullet lipstick products. I'm using stuff like this a little more. So I'm just not gonna bring the other ones because I'm not gonna reach for them. I'm gonna reach for the ones that I actually use. And then I do wanna bring a stain because I love a stain, and it's obviously gonna be my NYX Lip IV. I do have the shade Dripping in Rose, and it is perfect for me. I reach for this a lot and it's a no-brainer. I definitely need to bring it. I think that's it. I don't need any more. Oh, maybe one more. Maybe one more. Because what happens if one day I'm in New York and we're like, let's go have like a fancier dinner? Listen, sometimes you just need a red. As I was talking to you about, one of my tips is to bring 1 or 2 like bolder makeup products that you can transform a look with. This is probably not going to be worn, but it's also good to have. Okay, so this is a Sephora Soft Matte and Easy Smooth Matte Lip Color in the shade 11. It is not heavy at all, and it can transform a look, so I always like to bring it as a backup. And then last but not least, I need a setting spray. All my setting sprays live here, but I know which one I'm grabbing because it's the only mini that I have. Is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Love this. Makes my makeup last a long time. A mini is perfect in my makeup bag, and I do want my makeup to be longer lasting, you know, so something like this is really going to help. I do think that brushes and tools can be another thing that a lot of people go overboard with whenever they're packing because they want to have so much like option. I always like to bring a mini sponge. This one is from Real Techniques. I obviously need to wash it. It's a little dirty, but I love a mini sponge like this because it's easy to travel with, and sometimes when I bring like the bigger ones definitely take up a lot more space, and sometimes they can grow moldy inside the bag because you keep them wet. So the smaller one is a lot easier to dry and to bring anywhere with you. I can just chuck it in there and it lives in there. I also always like to bring a mini powder puff because it helps with my powder, and it also literally weighs nothing. I do like to bring brushes for mainly my face and cheek products. So I do like to bring a foundation and concealer brush. I also like to bring a small powder brush because even though I have my like powder puff, that's mainly for under my eyes. This makes it easy to apply powder everywhere else on my face. An angled brush for my bronzer, and then my perfect blush brush. This is from Deck of Scarlet, and it is literally the perfect blush brush for my face. I do always like to bring an angled brush with a little spoolie just in case I need the spoolie, or you know, I need a little bit something for my brows, for liner. Like, this is very versatile. And then just in case, like this is my just in case, I probably shouldn't even be bringing these, but my just in case brushes, I have a smaller blending brush and then a really tiny detail brush that I don't even know if it's gonna focus. And lastly, I do like to bring my lash curler. This one is by Shuomura and it's the best. And this one just goes in here as well. And that's about it. Like that, those are all the tools that I bring. We did it, bestie, we did it. We packed my beauty bags, and now that I'm all packed, I can check that off the list. I still have so much else on the list that I need to check off, but this is a good start, right? So thank you for coming along with me on this journey. It comes with time and practice, but hopefully with my tips and tricks, you don't need as much time to get good at not being an overpacker. My method is not perfect though, so if you have a different way, a different method, or some other tips and tricks on overpacking, please leave your knowledge, your wisdom in the comments below so we can all learn from each other, because as I said, my method's not perfect and there are probably better ways to do these things. So let us know. I hope this was fun, enjoyable. I hope you learned something new. I hope these tips and tricks create a snowball effect and they start small and then eventually you'll be a great beauty packer. You're not gonna be bringing stuff you don't need and you're just gonna live a freer, baggage-free life. Quite literally. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I hope I get to see you right here for my next video, okay? Bye! Mwah!